Welcome to Rise Above the Ranks. This podcast is in conjunction with our free real estate newsletter, The Blueprint. Subscribe at readtheblueprint.com to stay up to date on the most important news stories in real estate. Each week, we go over a topic that we think will help elevate your game. On today's episode, we've got a very special one. We have Kris and Vinny, who are both on mine and David's team. And when I think about rising above the ranks, these two guys have done it. They closed over $100 million in sales volume last year. And we thought it would be great to bring them on as guests to understand how the hell they did it. Their nicknames go from Bill and Bob to Kris and Vinny, and we don't know how they did it, so we thought we'd bring them here today to have a chat to these two rock stars. Firstly, boys, how you doing?
Good, By the way, sorry to interrupt. If it makes you guys feel any better, we've been known as the Spice Girls before.
Yes.
So
indeed.
That's actually pretty fitting.
on TV, mate.
See, nice guy. You're pretty spicy. There you go.
There you go, yeah.
All right, boys. So you're here for a reason. You have truly blown us all away with your success. We've watched you close from afar. We've seen you go from struggling and having nothing to closing over $100 million in sales. I don't care what market you're in, from Beverly Hills or the middle of Tennessee or anywhere in between. That is a huge accomplishment. Out of the gate, how did you do it? Vinny, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having us on. I mean, look, it was an incredible year. I think it was all about, just building the pipeline and focusing on that. I mean, you're a big preacher of that, right? Just build your pipeline every day, focus on meeting new people, making new connections. But really, I think just honing in on what you're good at, because I think every agent has you say it, right? This business isn't reinventing the wheel. Like, people have done it before and been successful in this business before, so there's no need to reinvent the wheel. And so there are really like a few ways of marketing in this business and getting clients. That's the number one question every new agent has. How do I get a client, right? So just focus on what you're good at. Are you good at sending letters? Are you good at sending emails? Are you good at sitting open houses? Are you good at door knocking? Figure out what you're good at and then just focus on it. For me, I've been a big fan of email marketing and just reaching out to people that way and trying to, capture as many people as I can. At the same time, with my marketing, Kris is a rock star at open houses and, capturing leads from open houses. So I think those two things combined just ended up, allowing us to have an incredible year last year.
So you guys started separately on our team. You were on your own.
Correct.
Actually, you were an assistant and then you came on your own.
Correct, yeah.
Vinny, you joined us on your own.
Yeah.
What made you, this is funny because obviously we actually started together from day one in LA real estate. Yeah. But what made you come to that realization that, shit, we're probably better off together, which, by the way, in retrospect was 100% right. Like, you guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
But what made you, maybe Kris, you want to answer that?
Yeah, for sure. So, the real reason that we actually started together was because I had a listing appointment in Topanga, and I was like, I'm not driving to Topanga on my own. So
long for doing whatever it takes, man.
So I called Vinny. I said, look, do you want to go on this listing appointment with me? He's like, yeah, for sure, let's go. At the time, Vinny's car was in the garage for some reason, so he had a rental car, which was a 4x4.
You just called it a garage, not a garage?
Sorry, garage. It was in the car garage. And so he had a rental car that was a 4x4 Jeep, so it was fitting for Topanga, right? So we're rolling down the hill, we pull up all these windy streets, we put in front of the house. The first thing the guy says, he's like, oh, cool car, man. And we're like, we've got this, mate. Like, done deal. And then, we went in and we just we'd never worked together or we'd never been in a situation, and we just bounced off each other really well. The guy loved us. We sold the house in multiples, broke a price per square foot record for that pocket of Topanga.
Still a good friend of ours too.
Still a good friend of ours. He took us out for dinner afterwards. He nicknamed us the Topanga Titans.
Nice.
And that was it. And then I think after that, we just realized, we worked well together. We started putting each other on deals here and there. And that's really it. It kind of just happened naturally, organically. We got an assistant together that, helped us as well. And that's it. We both drive each other forward. So
love that.
Yeah.
We have very different strengths.
I love it. So there's so many different things I want to ask you. You said I preach about pipeline. David preaches about reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
You preached about sending out e-blasts and door knocking and open houses. How important in your success of where you've got today has being consistent been in any of the things that you do? To other agents that are new in the business, is consistency one of the most important things?
100%. Consistency is the number one thing that I focus on, that Vinny focuses on. It's super important, because the thing is with this business, right, is the way I look at it is the work you're doing today ultimately pays you in 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, right? So if you're not consistent,
maybe even years,
sometimes even years, and if you're not consistent in what you're doing daily and weekly and monthly, your business isn't going to be consistent, right? So it's reflective of the time and the work that you're putting in. So 100% consistency is the number one thing that any new agent should be focusing on, and they shouldn't feel discouraged by being consistent and not seeing any results, because that's totally normal. Like that's just part and parcel of the business. So
love that.
I think that's what leads a lot of people to quit, is the inconsistency, because what happens is they'll have this big boom of business, and then you know, cool, I'm good now. Like, I'm going to go spend my money, have fun. I just made a few big paychecks. And then,
which, by the way, I did when I first got into
I think we all did. I think we literally all did. I think everybody makes that mistake early on.
We did a podcast on that. You end up with a tax bill if you're really
exactly
really bad with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but I remember actually talking to you about that. It was like, here's a guy who doesn't have any kids. He really doesn't have that many responsibilities. And it's like, you go and you close a deal and you make your first 20, 30, 50, 100 grand paycheck. The original sort of the thought behind that is, let's go blow it. Let's go on a really awful vacation. Let's travel one way and stay in a crap hotel, and let's just blow it on a really crap vacation. But I remember you and I sitting down, I'm like,
sounds like a great vacation for 100 grand, by the way.
If you just take the next 2 years and work your ass off and just stay focused and stay in your lane and stay consistent and keep closing, that 50,000 turns into 500,000. And now you're storing wealth. Now you're building wealth. 2 years from now, you can go on your dream vacation. Instead of it being 2 days, it can be 2 weeks. Instead of staying in that hotel, you can stay in your dream hotel. Instead of going economy, you can go first class. It's like, if you stay focused and you keep your eye on the prize, all sorts of incredible things can happen. And we have really seen you do that together, watching you flourish together as a team, and you playing on Vinny's weaknesses and you playing on Kris's weaknesses has been incredible. Guys, let's get into what truly made you successful last year. I know you guys hit 100 million in sales.
Bonkers.
Which is bonkers. But let's go into, how did you do that? What are you doing this year, again, that got you to where you were last year? I'm a new agent. I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure out how these two 28-year-old guys got to 100 million. Talk us through what you're doing, how you did it, and what works.
Sure, yeah. So I think, for me, one of the things that I always back myself on is that I'm willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do. I take anything and everything from a $3,000 a month lease to an $8 million listing. And there are so many agents that think they're too big for certain, listings or leases or whatever. And I would just take everything, and I would treat everything the same.
Amen.
And those $3,000 leases then in a year's time turn into a $3 million sale, and then they refer you to someone else and this and that. So first things first, I would say working harder than everyone else and being willing to do the things that others are not.
Love that.
That I think is huge. And I guess continuing on from that, is finding opportunities and bringing them to people that other people don't have access to. So for me, what was huge and still is huge, especially in an inventory scarce market that we're in, is bringing things to the table that other people don't have access to. And that value...
Like what?
Like going and finding an off market. Say there's, you meet someone at an open house, right? And they, I've been searching for 2 years for something. Okay, well, tell me what you're looking for, right? And then I go out and I look for exactly what they're looking for. I bring it to them. I present it to them.
No other agents doing that,
and
right?
No other agents
or bringing
doing
them that property because you're actually contacting the sellers directly off market.
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
So we're going directly to the sellers. Even if it's through an agent sometimes, right? It doesn't matter. We're still presenting them with things that are not available to the general public. And that's value that just is priceless.
Yeah, they won't forget that. Like that's how you get someone's attention.
Exactly.
And their loyalty.
You're providing value. If you can provide value in this business, you become worth something.
Yeah.
You become worth something. People want to work with you. You're creating the value. You're creating the opportunity, and you're creating the paycheck for yourself. And you're developing long-term relationships as you go along that could turn into 3 deals, 5 deals, 50 deals over the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I think moving on from what you're saying is it was exactly that, right? When I first got into the business, I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
I wasn't from LA. I don't have family here, friends here. I didn't go to school here. I didn't grow up here. I didn't know anyone. I had no credibility at all. So my way to give myself credibility was by providing those off-market opportunities to buyers, in the LA market. And that really, I think, is the easiest and quickest way to get into a luxury market anywhere in the country, or the world rather, is just by, finding those opportunities and presenting them to people.
Legend. Hold on 1 second, everybody. I got to go over one offer that I don't think you're going to want to miss, because you deserve to work with the very best of the best. And when it comes to real estate CRMs, the best of the best is Boomtown. Bottom line, with flexible packages that fit your unique business and all of the tools and tech for next level growth, Boomtown is built for winners. To claim $750 in free digital marketing credit, visit boomtownroi.com/blueprint and use the promo code Blueprint. Again, that's boomtownroi.com/blueprint.
It's kind of similar to what we did, actually.
Yeah.
Now you say that. We came from across the pond. We weren't born here. We didn't have any contacts, but we did it through door knocking, right? That's just our way of generating those contacts. We could call up big developers, Zach's and the people, not mention all the names at the time, and offer them deals that they wouldn't have had access to because we've literally door knocked them. It made sense.
It's unbelievable hearing you boys. Is literally like the words coming out of both of your mouths are the words that would come out of my mouth or David's mouth.
It's unbelievable.
You are creating opportunity, which is what we always talk about. Neither of you really came from anything. Let's be real. Neither did David or I. We all started fresh. We didn't have mum and dad's contacts books. We didn't live here. We created something out of nothing. And I think if you want to be successful in this business, A, you have to be hungry. B, you have to be prepared to work harder and smarter than everyone else. C, you have to go out and create the opportunity. And Vinny, for you, talk to us. You're from here. This wasn't the world you were born into. You've created this success. You've found great success in email campaigns. Talk to us a little bit about that without giving away all your secrets, but tell us how you found great success in that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no secret. Like David said, it's just tried and true. Like all I'm doing when I'm sending emails is I'm reaching out to potential sellers and I'm asking them if there's any number that they would sell their house for. That's it. And most of the time the answer is yes. And sometimes it's worth $2 million and they're like, sure, I'll sell for 10. Like obviously.
Or it's fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, we
like a good fuck off, leave me alone. It's occasional. It's nice.
By the way, we don't stop following up until they say fuck off. Love that. That's the key to stop.
Love that.
But yeah, it's very simple. Whether it's a letter, whether it's an email or a phone call or whatever it is, reach out to as many people as you can. Ask them if they're willing to sell. And I think a very good way to do it is to do it with intention. Like if you don't have a buyer, find a buyer. Somebody in your office has a buyer. Go to the top agent in your office and ask them who their most ready to go buyer is, and ask if it's okay that you go out and look and try to source a seller direct.
And who's going to say no to that?
Who's going to say no?
Exactly.
Especially a busy agent that's closing 100 deals that
makes them look good.
It makes them look good. Exactly. You're bringing them off markets and they're probably not doing it themselves.
Right.
They have strong relationships with their clients so that they don't. Yeah. So anyway, I think doing that is a good way to do it. So find a buyer. If somebody's looking for something up to $2 million in this specific city. Now go just put in a little bit of effort. Hit up a title company and say, I know that houses in this specific pocket that are between this square footage and that square footage are probably worth about $2 million. So let me send a letter to every single one of those houses. Let me call every single one of those houses. Let me send an email to every single one of those houses. We have technology. Like people 10, 15 years ago don't have what we have today. It's so easy to go online and figure out how to get somebody's email. It's very simple. It takes 2 seconds. And maybe, subscribe to, there's so many websites out there that can offer that service. So yeah, just put in that effort and shop for buyers. And at the same time, you'll be getting seller leads, and eventually those people are going to sell.
You know what? For me, I hear, and Dave always talks about it. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're not this, we're not that. Like what I hear from you boys that gets us excited and motivated is you're just hungry. Right? You're just hungry to be successful and keep climbing in the ranks. You're young guys, you're hustling, but you're not doing anything that nobody else can't do. You're just doing it with passion and momentum.
Doing the work. So many people,
Yes.
they say, they think we literally wave a magic wand and all this happens. It's literally, a lot of people are scared, or they, for whatever reason, they don't believe that you literally have to work harder than everyone else in order to be successful. Because if you're not doing it, someone else is going to be doing it. That's exactly what we've looked at since day one. And your trajectory, guys, is incredible. But it's like you'll appreciate every single listing you get, whether it's $1 million, $500,000, $10 million, whatever it is, because you know how hard you worked for that first listing that you got. Makes you appreciate it. It's the same for us. And it
anyone,
really,
right?
It's a strength of character. It builds your character. But to the point is, you can't underestimate the amount of work and consistency you have to put in order to get the results. And we've watched you guys do it. It's crazy, but it's great to watch. So
thank you.
I'm blown away by everything you guys are doing. I think anybody watching this segment will be blown away because you've done it yourself and no one has helped you. Yeah, we've given leads here and there, but the bread and butter of your business is purely done and created by you guys putting in hard work, sweat, effort, equity, and not giving up and working harder than everybody else. All right, guys, before we wrap up the episode, I want to ask each of you a question, starting with you, Kris. We're in the last 6 months of 2023. What is your best advice to a young, newer agent in the business?
My best advice would be sit open houses. Sit open houses every weekend. Sit them Saturday and Sunday if you can.
And how do you get to sit open houses if you don't have the listings?
If you don't have the listings, reach out to someone in your office. Send emails. You can pull agents' emails from the MLS or whatever source it is, and you can email them saying, hey, I see you have a listing. Maybe it hasn't been sat open for the last couple of weekends. I'm free Saturday, Sunday. I'll sit it. Let me know. I'll send you a full update afterwards. You can send to your seller to make you look good. I just think open houses, the best and quickest way to get leads, to get real leads, and I would just be doing that consistently, week in, week out.
There's really no excuse.
Yeah, there is.
And if you're going to sit an open house for 3 hours on your Saturday and Sunday, don't sit there with a miserable face and you're on your cell phone on Snapchat or Instagram. Like, show up ready, prepared, hyper, excited to take names, numbers, and help people.
Exactly.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Vinny?
My advice would be this. This is what helped us last year too. Take 2 seconds, grab a piece of paper or a poster board or something that you could put on your wall and see every day. And if you don't have a goal yet, make a goal. Like write a number, put it on your wall, and look at it every day. Because that's what you guys made us do last year. And not to mention, you guys forced us to show you a scoreboard every meeting that we had every Monday morning to keep us accountable for how are we reaching that goal.
Which was horrifying.
Which was terrible. It was terrifying. Yeah, in the beginning it was tough.
Whenever you get those messages saying Monday morning meetings cancelled, you're like,
should be pumped the other way around.
No, but then when we blew through the goal halfway through the year for the whole year, we were stoked.
Right. Exactly.
And you don't I don't think that would have happened if we didn't have a tangible thing that we were looking at every day. So if you don't have a team per se, find somebody, another agent in the office, and maybe just sit with them on a Monday morning and keep yourselves accountable and say, what did we do this week? What can we do this week to push it forward? But you need a goal. You need a number. If you don't have a number, if you don't have a goal, then, you're already setting yourself up for failure. So,
dude, love
Facts.
love
Facts.
that. That really does make me smile because we did a whole segment and it included setting targets and goals and holding yourself accountable. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you nothing but continued success, and it is amazing that we get to do this together. So thank you so much for joining. That brings us to the end of another incredible episode of Rise Above the Ranks, the sister publication to readtheblueprint.com. Thank you for watching. Keep watching these boys right here, and we will see you in a couple of weeks for new content. Thank you so much.